Well, they've been on hiatus for 2 years due to the pandemic, but now one of the area's best wine festivals, it is back. It is this Saturday, and the folks at the Yadkin Valley Wine Festival are ready to rock and roll. I spoke with vintner Becky Muhlenberg about Haysgrave Vineyards and the event. Becky, first, I think we have to get people to understand what a big deal this is. It's been, what, a couple years without it. So talk about the excitement that's building around this.
Elkin Valley, or Elkin Municipal Park, is going to host the Yadkin Valley Wine Festival this Saturday. And we had a 2-year hiatus. We have 18 different wineries coming with lots of music and food trucks this Saturday.
Now, you guys are one of the newer wineries to join this. What does this mean for you guys? Because this must be a great way to get the word out and kind of have some family fun.
It is. So there's 4 of us: Golden Road Vineyards, Hidden Vineyards, Stardust Cellars, and us, Haysgrave Vineyards, who are new this year. This is our first year at the Yadkin Valley Wine Festival. And it really gets our name out there to people who haven't been to the area. There's so many wineries in the area, and we're reaching so many people this weekend.
And really, unless you do like the wine trail, you can't get all these vineyards in one spot at one time, correct? I mean,
No.
that's a big draw.
Yes, yeah. There's within half an hour of us, there's 40 wineries. So to have 18 of us together, and the ticket price gets you a tasting at any of the wineries.
Talk about this as a family event, because I know there's more than just the wine out there.
Yes, so there's music going on all day. The event is actually 11 to 5. There's a DJ playing from 11 to 1, and from 1 to 5, the Castaways are playing live music. And so you can bring a picnic, blanket, chairs, sit out, listen to music. There's food trucks, things for people to do during the day, not just drink wine.
This is great. Everybody's excited just to get back out. And like you said, the weather's going to be perfect. Thank you, Becky, for spending time with us today. All right, so with that in mind, we all love a good summer event or festival. So I asked you, what's your favorite summertime shindig on Facebook? And here's what you had to say. Samantha said, the Capitol Jazz Festival in Maryland. Doesn't have to be local, that's true. Just outside of Washington. She said that festival brings together musicians that epitomizes jazz. She says, if you understand jazz, then you know what I'm saying here. Teresa Galloway said, the Crab Festival in Raleigh, because I absolutely love seafood. I'm with you on that. Deborah said, music festivals. Shameless plug here. She said, I like to see Eric and the Chill Tones. Lynn said Chow Chow Asheville culinary event. I haven't been to that one because it celebrates and recognizes the people, diversity, culture, food, farms, and the true community of Appalachia. Rick says the Taste of Buffalo in Buffalo, New York, where he is from, and my wife is from there. Kim Parker said the John Coltrane International Jazz and Blues Festivals. That one is one of my favorites, but let's be honest, I just like live music and food all in one place. I don't care which festival, I like them all.
Anything including food, I'm in there, like swimwear.
Yeah. One of my favorite festivals, Memphis in May. Have you heard of it before?
Yeah.
So it's like they have a 3-day music festival with all types of artists,
Ooh, wow.
all genres, and it's outside, and there's like multiple stages. So when I went a couple years ago, I saw Wiz Khalifa, I saw 2 Chainz, I saw Jill Scott, and it's just a lot of awesomeness. There's also a barbecue festival one day where it's like people from all around the world.
Wow.
They come and compete. They also highlight a different country every year. So there's like an international festival. It's a lot of fun.
One,
and
yeah.
people from all over come for this.
It's a big deal, Memphis in May. I'm trying to think of some. I mean, I love going to festivals, just the smaller ones too, where there's good food and good drinks. But growing up, there was a festival in Little Rock called River Fest because it's right on the river. And I just remember there had different concerts going on at the same time, and you would go to each venue, and it was just a lot of fun.
Different stages. I'm surprised no one said barbecue festival because that's huge here. But I'm with Monique. I like eclectic food choices. You know, I like to kind of eat my way through the festival.
I saw Taste of Buffalo was on there. Have you all ever been to a Taste of a certain city? I went to like a Taste of DC like several years ago where just different restaurants come out, and you have to pay to get in, and you have to pay for certain foods, but there are like free samples all throughout.
In northern New Jersey, they have this thing called the Smorgasbord, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, and they have basically a whole bunch of different food trucks that you can just go and try out different food trucks, and like you pay a fee like that, and you would just go try out the different food trucks, and they would have like, it seemed like a carnival kind of like, but of food, not really rides, but you go try out different foods.
I love that, because that's why I go to the carnival. festival is for the food.
Randleman, North Carolina, the North Carolina Food Truck Championship every
Okay.
year. So
Really?
When is
check
that?
that one out too. I got to check the date on that. That is a summer thing though. We'll
Sounds like
see.
something else to add to the list.
Let us know on Facebook. We'll be back.
Okay. Wait, is my mic on?
Well,
You might want to wait until
hi Facebook.
Yeah,
the
I'll
D
wait
block.
till-
We're
Yeah. Because
live
you're
on
like right
Facebook
after
right
this.
now, just to let
Okay.
everybody know.
Hey FB, how you do?
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord.
Freestyle. Here she goes.
Now I got to do that in
Lord.
doses. Got to do it in doses.
Yeah, I need to know more about the local festivals. I mean, I was thinking about the majority of my time in Greensboro has been in a pandemic.
Yep.
So a lot of the things that were happening, I really kind of missed out
stopped.
on, right? So when I was trying to think of a festival that I've been to here, I don't know. I went to the July 4th one the first summer I was here.
Those
That
are
was
always
going
good.
on.
The what's the Rib Fest in Winston-Salem? I may be misquoting the name on that one, but that one's the Twin City Rib Fest. That's really good. Folk Festival, North Carolina Folk Festival is here.
Yes. I
That
have
that
not
food
been.
truck deal in Randleman is really nice.
How was the food truck festival? Isn't there one in Greensboro?
Yeah, there is one in Greensboro
Okay, because
too. Yep.
I think Chad went to that, right?
Yeah, I think he did.
Talked about that.
Well, and then the barbecue fest in Lexington, I'm pretty sure that
That's
was when I
huge.
had my bachelorette party, so I didn't get to go.
Hold on, we're checking that out right now. Our producer's talking to us in our ear. Hold on a sec. Yeah, I'm trying to get there. Stand by. It'll be done by the time I get
is
there.
next.
Yeah, what were we talking about? Kiana, what was the decision-making question? I missed that one.
Let's pick it. What the 4 to 5 fam, let's talk about decisions. Which choices are the most difficult to make?
Well, today, Coach Lamont has a message on decision-making and how hesitation can actually lead to a life of starvation, he says. Take a listen.
One day, a hungry donkey stumbled upon two equally large bales of hay. He looked at both, going back and forth as if he was watching a tennis match. He stood unable to decide which was best. This went on for days, unable to make a decision, and the donkey eventually died from starvation. Many of you, like this donkey, you're pondering back and forth on a decision you should have made a long time ago. You know the right thing to do, but fear creeps in and no decision has been made. How long will you watch your life crumble when the answer to your stability is found in making that one decision? Today, evaluate each thing standing before you and simply decide. Your life is starving, so feed it. Do the right thing, make the decision today. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best you day. I'll see you tomorrow.
When I hear this, all I can think of is Drake's song YOLO, or the motto. YOLO, you only live once. You got to make decisions. You got to just go out there and do it. I think a lot of times people let fear hold them back from doing the things that they want to do in life.
You don't experience life if you're afraid of everything. You can't do that. That's something that I know my mother was really good at preaching that, because my dad was kind of like, he had a healthy fear of things, and my mother always was pushing him to do more. And I watched that dynamic a little bit, and so when I went through that as a younger kid, I was afraid of a lot of things. She would say, you've got to try. You don't have to say you love it, but at least try it and then say, I
and
did
if
it.
you make a mistake or you
That's
fail
right.
at it, dust yourself off, try again, or just be like, nah, maybe that's not for me.
That's
maybe
right.
basketball isn't for me. I'll do soccer.
See, I mean, I am great about trying new things, whether it be food or adventures or I'm not worried about that kind of stuff. But as far as making a decision, that is so difficult
Like a life
for me.
decision?
not just life decisions, but the smallest things. Like, what am I going to wear today? Or what am I going to have for dinner tonight? Like, those small decisions are just so difficult for some reason.
People put it all on you, like, where do you want to go eat? I'm like, I'm
Why
not
is that so
sure. And they're like,
hard?
you choose, you choose. I'm like, you choose.
Are you the I don't care, you choose
I'm
person?
the I don't care. And
Yeah.
they're like, no, but you must care about something. I'm like, I really don't care. I just want food.
That's me. I am not a picky eater. I love to try foods, even if they're strange. Like, right? I'm
Yeah.
okay with just trying something. Doesn't mean you have to like it. But I'm a little bit like you too. I'm always like, there's no place you can pick that I won't like something.
I'll find
Right.
something on
Right.
the menu to
Yes.
eat. Yeah.
Interesting.
But deciding on where to go.
Yeah, that's a lot
That's
of
the problem.
pressure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's too much.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back.
Weather is next. What about me? We're talking about the weather, as active weather is expected to roll into the triad as we go through the latter part of your day tomorrow. Now, if you tuned in earlier today, you probably heard Ed Matthews, our meteorologist in the morning, saying that there was a marginal risk for severe weather, which is level 2 through level 1. Throughout the day, the Storm Prediction Center has upgraded us to a slight risk for severe weather, which is level 2. And you can see that yellow swath extending across North Carolina, and that's for the day tomorrow. So let's see this futurecast to see how things will pan out. Staying dry for tonight. Now, as we go through the overnight hours, more clouds will build in, and some of those could possibly spit out a few light showers or a light drizzle in the early part of your Thursday. When we get to the afternoon, the temperatures are going to heat up. That is a key ingredient in allowing for thunderstorms to develop. Now, it really just depends on if we will see any. So some storms will develop through the afternoon, and they do have the potential of being severe. And then as we go through the early part of Friday, there are some forecast models that we use as meteorologists showing the potential for some showers and storms in the early part of your Friday morning, the wee hours, but the day should be mostly dry. So here's what you need to know. Few storms are possible. Not everyone will get to see storms, but if you do, damaging winds and large hail is possible. We're going to be keeping a close eye on the radar from 5 p.m. until midnight for your day tomorrow. Haven't shown the 7-day yet, but here you have it. You can see those temperatures staying warm through the weekend. So over the next few days, you might want to keep our free WFMY News 2 app close. It's easy to download from either the Apple Store or Google Play. There you'll have those latest weather updates at any time wherever you are.
Okay, you'll have to check out why one Texas toddler is being called the cheeseburger kid. Little Barrett, he snuck into his mom's phone and ordered 31 McDonald's cheeseburgers from DoorDash. He just couldn't eat them all, so they got on Facebook and decided to give them away. His mother says she has learned to hide her phone from Barrett from now on. And boy, did Facebook have a time with this one. Check out some of these reactions. Moses writes, "No fries? I need to have a chat with him. Always order fries." Tiffany says, "He looks pretty happy about his order." Yeah, I think so. Kayla adds, "Haha, well, maybe you should have a cheeseburger party." And then Christina says, "My daughter let her baby 1.5-year-old play with her phone. Somehow he clicked on Amazon and ordered 3 iPhones."
That's a little pricier
Oh,
than a
no.
cheeseburger, couple
Yes.
cheeseburgers.
I love when kids do this. It's so funny.
It is.
Not funny for the parents. I covered a story one time. A kindergartner used her mom's fingerprint to get onto the iPad and order $250 worth of Pokemon figurines.
Oh, wow.
Little Pokemon figurines.
I had one of my kids once, they thought they had like hacked into Roblox or whatever. It was like Roblox, but then they got Robux. And I looked and it was like $300 worth of Robux that they had charged up and thought they were getting them for free. And I saw it on my credit card. I said, what have you done?
So I never did anything like, buy something without my parents' permission, but my mom tells a story of, I might have been like 2 or 3, and she went outside really quick and I closed the door and I guess I locked it. And she was like, I thought it was funny, and then she couldn't get in, and I started crying, and she was trying to explain to me how to unlock the door.
Oh my
They had to
gosh.
call like someone to come and unlock the door.
I've heard of that happening before too, and they have to break the glass in some cases. Is that what they did to get you
I
out?
don't remember,
Oh, yeah,
but
you
she
wouldn't
just
know.
said that like they were trying to explain to me, and I just kept crying.
Oh no.
The worst is when they eat stuff. Like Baylor's at that age where if you leave something on the ground.
Thankfully, right now she's in a phase of liking to give you something.
Well, that's
so
good.
she like picks up little things off the floor, like tufts of Wrigley's hair, and then like hands it to me. And I'm
Well,
like,
thank
oh,
goodness
thank
she's
you.
instead of going, let's eat that.
But
See
I
how
do
that
have
goes.
a funny story. So she hasn't like bought anything yet, but Jake said that one day she was playing with his phone and looked down and she had called Edward Jones.
She needed some financial help.
I guess so. She's like, Mom and Dad need to save some money for me.
So cute.
It is so funny, and sometimes they'll call businesses, and if they're just saying the goo goo gaga thing, and the business is like hello, hello, and then they'll start making noise. I've
What would you like
heard,
on your order?
Yes. Bye bye boom. That's all they do. I'm gonna let
So
one of y'all
cute.
toss the break because I'm afraid to.
I think we can go.
I think we're good.
You sure?
I'll do it.
Okay,
Let's go to break.
I'm watching.
Yeah.
Ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together like a classic combination.
Hey, mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Canes, Rangers, game 1 tonight in Raleigh. Mic check. We sound great.
Welcome back to the 4 to 5 halftime show right now. Welcome Eric, Monique, Lauren, and Stacy.
You know the drill. You can watch us on air, online, WFMY News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFMY News 2 app.
And we're on Facebook, so hop on that live stream and start some conversations with us.
One thing a lot of people are talking about is this baby formula shortage. Developing now, the nationwide baby formula shortage has landed 2 Memphis babies in a hospital after their parents couldn't find the milk they needed.
We're supporting with IV fluids and with IV nutrition, which is not ideal.
Right now, the White House is working on plans to help the most vulnerable Americans find formula for their children. Officials did strike up an agreement with top manufacturers, but it's going to take a while before the deal makes it to shelves. The FDA reached an agreement with Abbott, which makes the specific formula to reopen its plant, but it could take 2 months for supplies to hit store shelves. In the meantime, House lawmakers are prepared to vote on a bill that would make it easier for low-income families to get baby formula.
WIC recipients utilize formula at a rate double most other people in this country. About 50% of our babies rely on the WIC program for milk.
The legislation would authorize the USDA to waive rules so that WIC recipients could swap one brand of formula for another, and they would be exempt from the maximum monthly allowances currently in place.
We're giving them the flexibility, and we want to make that permanent, that they can purchase what is available, safe and available.
Lawmakers are also launching an investigation into how the FDA has handled its oversight responsibilities, especially over the Abbott plant at the center of the formula crisis.
The chips should fall where they may. People have to be accountable, whether it is at FDA or whether it is at Abbott.
The Abbott plant in Sturgis, Michigan was shuttered in February due to bacterial contamination.
Recalls happen, but this company has lied, it's cut corners, it's falsified records to cover up misdoings at the sake of infant health.
Republicans are also criticizing the Biden administration response, saying it should have acted quicker to get more formula on store shelves. In response to the shortage, the American Academy of Pediatrics issued new guidance saying babies ages 6 months and older can drink whole cow milk if there's no formula available. Experts say the general rule of thumb is not to feed babies cow's milk until age 1, but can serve as a substitute if parents can't find it. Keep in mind, they say this option should not become routine. I just think it's heartbreaking and sad that we've even gotten to this place to begin with.
It is, I don't think I realized just how bad it was. I mean, Stacy has talked about this several times, but that's a major problem for the little ones, right? For like newborns and that type of thing. I'm not sure how parents handle this.
Right, because I mean, with my daughter, she's at the age that she can eat regular food as well, and the formula is kind of like just the extra part. But for those babies that are newborn to 6 months and that's all they have for nutrition and parents can't find it, that is terrifying. And I can't believe that we're in a position now where they're going and finding empty shelves, and I'm sure the panic just hits them so hard, and I can't imagine being in this situation with a newborn at home.
I think it's just been a big educating moment for a lot of us. Like, I do not have a child, I don't have any younger siblings or anything like that. And I know, Stacey, you've seen a lot of people talking on social media like, why don't you just breastfeed? But a lot of women are not in a situation where they can breastfeed. And I think we're learning that from this situation. I think a lot of parents are also learning you can't make your own formula. Don't dilute the formula. I think it's been just a good learning situation as well. I'm trying to find the positive in it.
Yeah. Well, and we've done stories. I mean, there are some food banks that have limited supplies. Is that right?
Yes, like the Salvation Army.
Yes.
Like usually you could go there, but they're like, we are tight
but
on
it's
supply.
small. Yeah. Small.
I mean, in some pediatricians' offices, they have sample sizes.
Yeah.
They really don't last you that long. But hey, if you need something desperately, I would say call your pediatrician. They can give you a sample to maybe hold you over until you can locate a store that has the kind that you need. Because the biggest problem right now is those babies that have allergies that may need a specific type of formula. That's what's so hard to find.
All right, we'll be watching.
Yeah. Well, inflation has impacted just about every industry, including the brewing business, in which many breweries are working hard to stay afloat. Foothills Brewing is based in Winston-Salem. Its president and co-owner Jamie Bartholomew says everything from aluminum and paper products for packaging to barley and wheat to make the beer went up in price. He says the company they buy cans from used to have a minimum purchase of 1 truckload. Now the minimum is at 5 trucks. Beer ingredient barley went up about 10% according to Bartholomew. He says really it's the packaging that's hit them the hardest. June 1st will be the 4th price increase for their 6-pack material.
Their paper went up, their labor went up, their trucking went up. Now it's their ink went up, so each time they're passing on, some amount of cost. And so that's just a ripple supply through our whole industry and every industry.
He says because of this, they've ordered everything in advance to hopefully avoid even more price hikes. For example, they already have all of their fall and Oktoberfest supplies. They typically wouldn't even order that until July. Bartholomew says more than anything, smaller breweries are struggling and it's important for us to support them.
The breweries are, everywhere, and they're definitely a part of each community that they're in. You probably know someone who's been in that industry, and small business is, the backbone of our country. Right?
And he says they've had to raise prices once due to supply chain issues and inflation. And while they're doing okay, he says he would guess it's really been hard for others to make money, specifically talking about those small local microbreweries.
Yeah.
And I even asked him, I said, why should we all care about this? Well, think about the people that work there. They're people that live in your communities. You probably know somebody that works in a brewery, a cidery, a winery, something like that.
And I also think that, when he said the ink price went up, that means everything's up.
Everything is literally up. I think we just kind of have to reevaluate our lives as to how we spend our money. And if we do go to a brewery or a restaurant, maybe tipping the folks there a little extra. But I think we're really seeing it everywhere across the board.
You'll have to make lifestyle decisions, right? Am I really going to go
changes.
out and eat this many times? Am I going, I hate to say that, but I think some people are going to you'd have to re-budget again, like start over with a new budget.
I'm thinking about starting my own garden. I'm
That's
being
a great
serious.
idea.
To eat healthy, it is expensive.
Eating healthy is very expensive. You can always go to McDonald's and, get on the, do they still have $1?
Oh, yeah.
It might be
Yep.
$1.25 now. Nothing's $1 anymore.
Well, that's very true. But if you want to try to eat really healthy, that's something we've run
costs a
into.
lot.
It's so expensive.
My neighbor does, you talk about garden, they have almost like planting boxes that they put on their back deck and stuff. And they're doing peppers and that kind of stuff. And you can even do small tomatoes. And there's a lot you can do.
I'm just hoping we get over this hump.
Me too.
Rent, gas. I just every time I see it, it's like $435, $450. It's about to be $650 before we know it.
Please.
Don't say that.
Can't
Oh,
even
gosh.
say it. Don't even think.
Everyone's
And then
gonna
the formula shortage is just.
We're just gonna stay put at home these days.
We try to have some good news for you once in a while, promise.
Yes. Not just quite yet. First, we have another story. But on a serious note, rising costs are just one of the trickle-down effects of the war in Ukraine. The longest and bloodiest battle in the country has come to an end. Russian-backed separatists say more than 250 Ukrainians have surrendered at the site of the besieged steel plant in the southern city of Mariupol. Ukrainian troops there have endured relentless strikes from Russian forces for more than 2 months now. This week, the U.S. senators voted to begin consideration of the nearly $40 billion aid package for Ukraine. The Biden administration says a final vote on the bill is needed by tomorrow before existing aid runs out.
All right, Monique, I found myself singing a little Nelly today. It's getting hot in here. Finish it.
I was like, what Nelly song? And then, of course, yes, it's going to be hot all weekend long. We're talking 90s and dry time, at least for today. This is a look at our satellite radar. You see there's nothing going on across the Carolinas. That's because there's nothing going on outside. It's dry. When we look across the Ohio Valley, we see some showers and even some on the southern edge, some storms are moving in across Kentucky. But elsewhere, things are dry, at least here at home. Now, I want to just paint this picture for you. When I talk about how winds are coming out of the south, that means the air to the south of us is being pushed into our neck of the woods. So what does that mean? Well, temperatures in the upper 80s and 90s are being pushed our way, which means we will be feeling them soon and as early as tomorrow. So like I said, those southerly winds pushing in the warmer air mass, bringing in the chance of some overnight/early morning showers across the area tomorrow tomorrow afternoon, bringing the best chance for some storms across our area. And then we're kind of in this warm sector where we have the perfect ingredients for storm development over the next couple of days. So as you see on Thursday, temperatures warming up, some strong or even severe storms are possible for your early afternoon through the evening, and then staying breezy throughout the afternoon. So the primary storm threats that we'll be talking about is wind and hail. The tornado threat not a factor for tomorrow. We're talking wind and hail. Let's look at that full 7-day. So over the next few days, you might want to keep our free WFMY News 2 app close by. It's easy to download from either the Apple or Google Play Store. There you'll have the latest weather updates at any time wherever you go.
All right, we're in the second round of the NHL playoffs. The Carolina Hurricanes advancing after beating the Bruins. Now, this is the real deal. They turned to a series against the New York Rangers. Amanda takes us to PNC Arena ahead of the big matchup tonight.
Hey guys, we are getting ready for a new series here at PNC Arena here in Raleigh. The Carolina Hurricanes getting ready to take on the New York Rangers in round 2. Now, both of these teams had to go to game 7 in the first round to get here. Those game 7s happening over the weekend. A quick turnaround. The Canes taking the ice this week to prepare for the Rangers, a team they played last month. Head coach Rod Brittamore says, look, they're not going to change much, and we aren't either. It's just a matter of who can execute and advance.
Well, it all matters. I mean, obviously, I think the older you get, the more it matters, and you're trying to, impose upon the players that urgency that they just don't take it for granted. We talked about it all year, and it's you just like I said, nobody knows what tomorrow brings. So we're always trying to put our best foot forward and take advantage of every opportunity we get.
Now you can see behind me there's 4 stickers up. That's because the Canes have won 4 games. They need to win 12 more to win a Stanley Cup. We will find out tonight what happens in game 1. The Canes and Rangers are set to take the ice at 7 p.m.
Yup, moo. Back in the day, you'd pay for something with a cow or a sack of cornmeal, right? Then bartering turned to standard payments like coins and paper money, even Bitcoin. Up next, paying with your face. That's right. We're going to talk about it coming up next. This guy right here, he rings you up, he's really happy about it, and he wants you to pay. My question is, how do you pay? Do you use a card? Do you wave it? Do you swipe it? Do you pay with a phone? What do you do?
I use the chip.
You use the chip.
Chip in the card. Yep.
Okay,
Me
all
too.
right.
Same thing. I'm always doing the debit card.
All right, is it any person ever pay with cash?
No.
Only if they only take cash.
Yeah, I have to know in advance that I need cash.
Yeah, me
I like
too.
never carry cash.
Okay, and so how many of you pay by phone with like a virtual wallet?
I have
use
done
my
that.
watch
I do it
sometimes.
sometimes.
Oh,
You
your
do it with your
watch.
watch.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Sometimes.
All right. Well, coming soon to a register near you, pay with your face.
I am going to hit yes. Let's set it up. And now I'm going to scan my smile. I'm going to hit pay with biometric checkout. I'm going to smile for the camera. The screen shows both a picture of my face as well as my card. And all I do is hit confirm and pay.
So the biometric checkout program is being rolled out by MasterCard this week. It uses the Pay Face app. The pilot program launches in Brazil, and you link the card that you want to use. The creators say this is going to help make passwords a thing of the past and ensure safety. So what do you think about paying with your face?
I love this.
I love that.
I
You
love
like
it.
it?
Then you
It's
don't have
like-
to worry about carrying around anything. I feel like safety-wise, it's going to be so much better,
It's
right?
like paying with a selfie.
Well, the
Yeah.
only issue I have is sometimes, when I am using my phone, because I do face enable to unlock my phone, sometimes my phone doesn't recognize me. So what in the future if like they think it's not me and I end
Yeah.
up getting in trouble,
That is a good
but it is
point.
me,
So my
Right.
identical twin boys can
Uh-huh.
open each other's iPhone with the face
they
recognition
really?
because they're so similar. So they could be charging things to each other all the time.
Think about that.
And I always think, they always say, well, this is the safest way. It's biometric. Nobody can copy that. And I think to myself, there's going to be some scammer
Yes.
who figures out how to get a picture of your face and be able to use that,
And
right?
put it on like a Snapchat filter.
Something.
And then, yeah, that would
Something.
be
And it's
crazy.
not like I'm
you
giving
guys are
anybody
giving-
any ideas.
I was about to say, y'all
I'm
are giving
not.
the bad folks all the ideas.
No, but if you got those ideas, if I've thought of them, they thought of them 2 years earlier. So that's
All right,
it.
we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Slime, ooze, muck, gack. It's fun, it's messy, it's science. Could you believe someone's job is all about making this stuff on a regular? Yep, Professor Ray D.O. Active. She's a mad scientist, a non-traditional job that bridges the gap between science and fun. Some know her as Ray Johnson, but if you're under the age of 10 in the triad, you'd likely know her as Professor Ray D.O. Active, the mad scientist. Anywhere kids gather, you name it, we go and we do programs and we introduce them to science in a really fun and entertaining way. Johnson calls it edutainment, a job she stumbled into searching online. Back when Craigslist was still a thing, and I found this ad, and I had 2 little ones at home, and so I was like, well, let me try it out, because I also have a theater arts background. Whether at a birthday party or at a school's field day, Johnson says the kids let her shine as a performer and a self-proclaimed nerd. At the end of class, I always ask students, did you learn anything today? And they'll all raise their hand, and I say, okay, I did my job. And then I say, did you have any fun today? And of course, they all raise their hand. And when we put that sodium borate solution in there, scientists call that a cross-linker. But the classroom isn't the only place you'll find Johnson dabbling in cool science experiments. Sometimes we go into like housing authorities where they have day programs and stuff like that. That is my absolute favorite thing to do, because those kids are usually tough, they're very streetwise, they have to have this tough facade, and they grow up a lot faster than they should. And so for the hour that I'm with them in mad science, they are actually little kids. Johnson says the job's reward can't be measured by a paycheck. As a mad scientist, do I make a lot of money? Not necessarily, but it's worth it. It's worth it to see the kids' reaction. She says the kids are her motivation. I have diabetes, I have fibromyalgia, I have rheumatoid arthritis, but you move past that stuff. I don't want to be limited by those things. I don't want that to define who I am. And, mad science really lets me shine. I think it doesn't matter how old you are. Nope. This is always going to be fun to play with.
It's like a good stress reliever.
It really is. It's
for
fun.
a long day of work. Just play with some slime.
When I was a kid, the original slime came out. My brother and I would lie, I would lie on my bed. He'd lie on the floor, and we would throw it to each other because you can't see it till it comes right over the horizon. Oh. And then we'd get it in the carpet, and Mom would be mad.
Like this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I saw it, it reminded me of Nickelodeon. Remember when they would drop the slime?
Yes.
I
slime
ripped
bucket.
a bean slimed one day.
That was a rite of passage.
You want to try it out today?
That was an honor back then.
When I Googled it, they said they actually made it out of vanilla. This isn't made out of vanilla pudding, but on the show, they would use vanilla pudding and just put green dye in it.
Oh, so that
So it wasn't this. This is real slime.
Well, I think this is an awesome thing that she's doing, and it just makes learning so fun and interactive. And I loved her talking about going into the communities with kids and doing these kind of science experiments.
Yeah, this is cool.
She has rocket launches. She also does some stuff where she makes things explode. She does the one thing where you can frizz your hair up to learn about lightning and electricity.
Oh wow, very cool.
So she has all the fun stuff about science. So cool.
And I love that she takes it out. Kids love this stuff. She literally hit me in the face with it.
Did I?
You didn't touch me. It was like,
barely.
We better go to break before something bad happens. We'll be back.
It's my Roy Williams.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's like a Roy Williams suit, but better. It's a tame Roy Williams suit. Hi, Illinois.
Your face. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Check, 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 check.
Checkity check check. Check.
Know if they know they're on a live truck? Mic check.
There were lots of smiles and applause.
It's time for My 2 Cents. The 2022 primary election is in the books. Tuesday night, voters determine the winners of some of our biggest races, as well as which candidates will move on to the general election. Voting is a key way to engage in civic life, but there are so many other ways you can make a difference in your community. This can range from volunteering to donating to your favorite local charity. Try educating yourself on political issues in your area. That can mean attending a city council meeting and understanding what's important to your city's legislators. If you have children in school, research what the school board does and how you can get involved. Next, get involved in community outreach. Find a cause you're passionate about, whether it be arts and culture, animals, or even computers and technology. There are endless possibilities to volunteer at a place that benefits your community. Last, get off the internet. Scrolling through my Instagram and Facebook timelines, I see countless people complaining about various issues in their neighborhood. Get out there, get involved, and be the difference you want to see in the world. That's my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
Guilford County voters said yes to a $1.7 billion bond.
It will be used to make repairs to Guilford County schools.
Superintendent Dr. Sharon